Yo, what up, Toshi here. In today's video, we're going to be talking about Umamusume. Now, this is a game slash anime I've been slightly interested for a little bit now. I actually wanted to consume some of the anime, so I watched all of season 1 before I decided to make this video to see whether or not I would be interested in the IP. I gotta say, man, this anime is actually it's pretty good. It definitely is a lot better than I expected it to be. I didn't know exactly where the direction of this anime was going to go, and it definitely surprised me with a lot of its slice of life elements. So the easiest way of explaining this anime, which we'll talk about some other stuff too. We'll watch a video and we'll talk about the game in some later videos. Long story short, there's a lot I really want to talk about in this video. I will be covering this game extensively as the game does release, and then leading up to the release, we'll make videos each and every single day, trying to prep for the game and get you all a better understanding of what to expect when this game does release. I'm just letting you all know that this is a old school gacha game. So if you are not familiar with how old school gacha games work, you're going to be in for a little bit of a surprise. I won't say rude awakening, but for those of you that watch me play Magic Zedra, Honkai Star Rail, so on and so forth, don't expect a lot from this game in terms of gameplay, because you're not playing this game for the gameplay, let's just say that. But long story short, in terms of the anime and explaining it, so Umamusume is an anime about horse racing in Japan. They literally made a horse racing anime that's just based on the Japanese culture of horse racing. So is pretty much what you expect. There's a bunch of horse waifus that are racing each other and competing in different cups and winning those cups and then trying to climb up the ranks. They have like this whole pyramid in the anime they explain of the different sort of like ranks you can climb, and then at the top of the rank you have like the triple crown horses and stuff like that, and then in each in individual like parts of the pyramid you have the different horses that have like different accolades. Like for instance, there is one horse that is the fastest of the horses, right? And there's another horse that is the fastest short distance sprinting horse, and then there is another horse that is the fastest. That was the motorcycle very loud outside. I don't know why people rev up their motorcycles super loud at night anyways when they're driving out of neighborhoods. But you have a horse that is known as the fastest horse in long distance sprinting as well. So there's different accolades and different traits of the various horses, and every single horse has a personality. Like for me personally, my favorite horses in the anime has been McQueen. I really, really like McQueen. I really like Suzuka, who you'll know very, very, very early on. And I also really do like Scarlet. Scarlet is another one of my favorites. Those three in particular. And again, I'm just prefacing this. I'm only on season 1, so I'm sure later down the line this maybe will change depending on how the direction of the story goes and which characters ends up getting more relevance in the anime. I will also say, last thing before we do get into like the video stuff like that and talk more about the game itself, I cried, not cried, but I felt very emotional watching a bunch of the episodes. Like for instance, in particular, like episode from the get-go, episode 2 to 5, man, 6 even had me in a little bit, I was about to drop some tears. The anime does get a little sad. It gets a little sad, but there is definitely a lot of oh my goodness, we did it moment. You know what I mean? It's really good. It's really good. It's definitely worth a watch. And I suggest you watch this anime before you do actually end up trying out the game. That's just my opinion though. Okay, so we have Umamusume. Now this game is coming out on the 26th of June. The pre-registration already started. We'll take a look at some of the rewards they're offering for the pre-registration of the game. Of course, you'll get all the rewards. Again, I have been playing this game for a little bit now, just a few days on the JP side. And again, I don't speak Japanese, so it's a little hard for me to explain exactly what happens in the game and the different mechanics and the different types of events and stuff going on. It is 6 years worth of content, so do bear in mind that there is a lot of stuff that I would have to go over even if I do understand it, right? So yeah, and you have a bunch of the horse girls here. The one I mentioned, Suzuka, again, if you're not familiar with the anime, is the one in the orange hair right here. I really like Suzuka. I'm not going to spoil too much, but you'll understand exactly her accolades and who she is and her style of racing as you do watch the anime. And then you have the one in the pink hair, right? Or pink, not pink, but super light purple white hair. And that's McQueen. I really like McQueen as well, which you'll understand McQueen as you watch the anime. I actually am in season 2, which does a more in-depth, I would say, point of view of the character and her storyline, stuff like that. And then you have the main character in front. Well, the main character like season 1, but the main character in front here, who is you'll meet like early on, and so on and so forth. And then we have Scarlet right here in the back, which I'm doing my mouse around. That's the one. Like, of course, I like the character. She has twin tails, of course, right? But yeah, I'm super excited for this game because I genuinely like the anime. Now, I know a lot of you, again, probably have watched me and with Magic Zedra cover that game and stuff like that, and go over the anime itself. And I remember saying too, I was actually going to make a video on Magic Zedra, just the anime. So there was like the Magic Zedra, not Magic Zedra, Magia Record anime that I was supposed to actually cover and talk about. And I like almost finished it, and I delayed the video. So there's a reason why I'm actually covering this game, which it'll be more explained in due time. But yeah, I do suck at holding myself accountable when it comes to different things. Let's just say that. Okay, so we have a sort of letter here from the devs themselves for the global release of the game. So, dear trainers, today we'd like to share with you a little bit about our plans for the English version of Umamusume Pretty Derby. Pacing. First, you can very important, by the way. Pacing is very important. First, you can expect to see all the same events and scouts as in the Japanese version. Nice. However, we want you to experience the latest content sooner rather than later. Uh-oh. So content will be released at a faster pace. Uh-oh. With shorter gaps in between events and scouts, but the duration of the events and scouts themselves will be the same. Okay. That's good, but also bad, as they originally were in the Japanese version. So expect faster paced, like in between banners. You won't have much more time to save. Let's just say that. The events will be quicker too. So maybe you'll get currency a little quicker, but you won't have very much time to save in between the different banners, because they are going to be making the banners go faster just to catch up to the Japanese version, which again, they are 6 years ahead of us. So is there really a need to do this? I mean, I guess there is, right? To save them time and resource, stuff like that later on. But man, this is actually a little bit disappointing. Expedited feature. Again, this is a first impressions. I haven't even read any of this yet. Second, the English version will have the following features available on release. Landscape mode and races. Nice. Very nice. Jukebox. Nice. So the landscape mode, I explained all of you exactly what Umamusume was. Like I said, it's a anime based on horse racing in Japan, horse waifus, right? Landscape mode is nice, especially if you are playing on a up-to-date phone and you want to have the gameplay in the best graphics possible. It's nice. Landscape is very nice, but you can play it in portrait mode too. It's not that big of a deal. All right. We also plan to selectively implement other new features and quality of life changes earlier than in the Japanese version going forward. Nice. It's very nice. I think with a game like this being, again, 6 years old, right? It's a very old game. You probably should have quality of life changes a lot more rapid. Really, 6 years. Just let that sink in. For example, we are already working on the guided career feature, which the Japanese version didn't receive until its 4th anniversary. Okay? Well, that's nice. Again, I don't know what this is, but if it's quality of life and a feature that is going to be very nice and beneficial for global players, hey, why not? Cross-platform. Lastly, the English version will feature cross-platform play between mobile and PC. You can use the same account to play on either platform. That's nice. That's very nice. Again, this is a game that is 6 years old, so do bear in mind that cross-platform, while it is a thing you probably don't even think about when it comes to any game release nowadays, this was something that was not really implemented like that back in the day with a lot of games like this, because not every game came out with a PC client, right? So this game, for instance, no. Whereas like a game nowadays most likely has a PC, unless you're Magic Zedra, a PC and a mobile client at the same time. With your input and support, we hope to deliver a player-friendly experience to trainers around the globe. Thank you for your patience, and we'll see you at the Tracken Academy soon. Man, that name brings back some memories. I really liked Season 1. Season 1 was really, really good. All right, so we got a video here. Let me go ahead and turn on the audio here, and I'll make sure that this is not too loud. All right, let's go. Put on my headphones. Become a rookie trainer at Tracken Academy. Special week. Okay, I already spoiled this character, but yeah, for those of you that don't know who that is. Grass Wonder. We like Grass Wonder. Pick an Umamusume to train. Then decide on the training regimen. Why don't we start a career run? Okay, you know what? Actually, I probably should pause in between. So, to explain this, long story short, you can pick certain characters that you want to go on the run with. So, do the horse racing with, and your point of view will be focused on that character in that horse race, right? You can still have other horses here to like jump up in your race and stuff like that. So, let's say I want to do a race with McQueen, not in any reason particular, but McQueen, right? I would then have McQueen be the horse I'm going to be racing with versus whoever else in the game. And then and it could be also be random NPCs too. And then you'll have like these supporting cards that help you during your race. So think of this like a sort of like artifact, a little boost to your performance, help you give you stats and all of that. When I played on the JP and when I made my account, they gave like I believe they gave all of this for free here. I remember seeing this card right here with Teo on it. I believe that one was given for free. I just literally just logged in and made my new account, and they gave me a bunch of rewards like this here. But yeah, supporting cards to help you during the race. So it's old school gacha. Plan a regimen that suits your trainee and her aptitudes. So this is like your trainee, like your speed, stamina, power, god, sweat, right? This is again, it's an old school gacha. So you have like the trait, like the different things you can. It's like an RPG kind of, right? You have the speed, stamina, different, traits you can throw. I won't even say skill tree because it's not a skill tree, but like different traits. Obviously, you want to get these up as much as you can because this really does affect your performance during the race. But again, this is a gacha game, so you'll make progress over time, right? You know what's so funny is I will say this. You don't really expect this character to be like this during the I should probably move my camera, shouldn't I? I mean, it's fine. Maybe I can move it to the left side, maybe. You don't really expect this character to be like this in the game because I mean her demeanor is like not really like this in the anime. At least not as heavily as it is here. But definitely the way she talks is very similar. I don't know, maybe I'm like reading too much into it, but okay, so you can increase her mood. Listen to your trainees' worries and help them grow. Again, this is news for me because remember I was playing in the Japanese version and I had no idea what the game was saying because I couldn't read Japanese, right? Make it a little louder. Aim for new heights with friendship training. Okay. There is, I will say it could seem very overwhelming at first because there is a lot of different things you can do in this game. It is an old school gacha, so you have like all of these different things you can do in the game, and it's not gonna be one of those games where you finish stuff quickly daily. Like it's gonna take some time. When I played like Dokkan Battle back in the day. Remember that game, like there was a bunch of stuff you could do and it felt like overwhelming, and then like even like doing the fights and stuff like that, when you want to upgrade a character, ascend a character, stuff like that, it did take some time to do each and every single day I played. So I mean, I guess I can kind of like relate it to that game. If you play Dokkan Battle, you're familiar with Dokkan Battle, Dragon Ball Dokkan Battle, right? It's an old school gacha, just like this one is. So it comes with its quirks of being a very time-consuming game. Let's just say that this is a very time-consuming game, but at least it's one of those games you can like pick up and play wherever you are, assuming you have like internet access and all that, right? Maybe I move myself in the top right here. Activate skills mid-race. I do wonder if there's an auto feature for this. I'm going to assume there is an auto feature for this. Turn dreams to reality at the race course. I'm not gonna lie, this is not even, guys, this is not even my favorite part of the game right here. The races are like not even that interesting to me. What I really like though is this here, right here. I love the winning concerts. I am a huge sucker for anime music, and so to explain the winning concerts here, it's the same thing in the anime. So essentially, every time the horse that wins the race, once they win the race, they have a performance after the race. And it's pretty much your typical Love Line Sunshine performance, right? If you're familiar with Love Line Sunshine, right? You have the idol performance. You go on stage, you sing, you do the dance alongside the singing. It's an idol performance, right? The game does it. Like, you can go in and you can do the auto performance whenever you want. I don't think that this part of the winning concert is like control. Like, isn't like, I don't think it's Osu gameplay, right? Where you're tapping different things on the screen as it comes up to sort of like play the concert perfectly, like Guitar Hero or something like that. I don't think it's like that whatsoever. I think it's like controlled by the game itself. So you don't have to, you just sit there and watch it. You can, I believe you can skip it if you want to, but you sit there and you watch it. It's not like you control or anything like that, but the music is actually really good. You can unlock some of the tracks too as you progress through the game. I believe they give some out in events. I don't quote me on this, and I maybe some are also paid. The one track I wanted was the first opening for Umamusume, and I couldn't get the track because, again, I don't read Japanese, and I have no idea how to unlock the track itself. Maybe it's a progression item. I don't know. But I really like the first opening for Umamusume, and I wanted that to be one of my tracks for the winning concert. Umamusume connected by their dreams. Inspire others to turn those feelings into powerful sparks of inspiration. Okay. Play with others. Okay, here we go. Put together a dream team and compete. Okay, so PvP. So, like, we have our own server, right? Global has their own server. So I'd imagine that it says around the world. So I'm going to assume this is PvP. And this is club, right? We have our own server. So I don't think we will be competing with JP and you know, Asia players, Korean players, China players, all that. Man. You know how I feel about PvP and gacha games. It is what it is. I'm not that big of a fan of Special Week. I will say though, she got me very emotional throughout the first season. Man, I'm excited for this. Side games, man, they release peak. I was a huge fan of Grand Blue Fantasy Relink. I also, let me just say this too. Very off topic here. Just a little side tangent. I honestly believe that side games with Grand Blue Fantasy is unmatched. They should make, in the future, some form of like Grand Blue Fantasy, like open world game. Oh my god, I would love it so much. I think the one thing that Grand Blue Fantasy has really well done compared to any other anime, or just IP in general for anime, is that the fantasy setting for Grand Blue Fantasy is just unmatched. I don't think there's any other fantasy setting that can compete with Grand Blue Fantasy. It's so good. And I want there to be like some future open world game for Grand Blue Fantasy. Just the world of that, right? In general. It would be so good, man. It'd be so good. Maybe they're already working on it and they haven't gave any news about it. They're just like, you know, doing it, you know, behind closed doors here. Man, side games do be releasing peak. And I actually am happy that this is an anime, because the anime is actually, like, this is the rare time where the anime is a lot better than Black Clover Mobile. The anime is a lot better than the game itself. Well, in my opinion, at least. The anime is super good. I again, it blew me away. I wasn't expecting it to be as good as it was, mainly because of the slice life elements. The slice life elements made the anime 10 times better, in my opinion. I nearly forgot to talk about this before I ended the video here. So we have the pre-registration rewards here. The 3,750 carats. I don't even think these are like carrots, but it's like it is a gem-looking version of a carrot because their horses get it, right? So carats. And I mean, it makes more sense if you understand Special Week, why the carats is so like iconic as like a way to do the premium currency in the game. Anyways, this is your, of course, premium currency to roll on the banners. This is good for 25 scouts. So I actually do like they went ahead and just highlighted how many pools worth of premium currency this is going to be. So long story short, each 10 pool is 1,500 of the carats. So yeah, 25 pulls is very, very nice. Honestly, the re-roll experience for this game isn't too bad, but we'll cover that in a different video, right? We have 100,000 money, right? You obviously know what this is. This is your money. Support points, you know what that is. Toughness, you can probably tell what that is. Goddess statues, you can probably tell what that is. And alarm clocks, you can probably tell what this is, right? So a bunch of nice rewards for not only, leveling up your characters, progressing your accounts. You have the monies to also help progress your account, support points, and all of that jazz. And then you have your karats, which is the thing most of you care about, right? Your pool premium gem currency. So yeah, it's very nice for the rerolls, and you get this literally as soon as you make your account, right? Because it's pre-registration rewards, and they'll probably have some more rewards, later down the line for the global release too, because I do believe they want to have the global release, in a good position, right? Let's just say that. All right, but that's pretty much it. I just wanted to go over Umamusume. We have 5.5 days of time of recording before the game does globally launch. I do want to make videos each and every single day going over everything you need to know about the global release of the game, talk more about the IP itself, and then somewhere later down the line, of course, I do want to transition this channel into something a little different, which I'll explain later on as this game does fully release and the channel does become more established with the game itself. I am super interested in this game, of course, again, because I actually ended up liking the anime. I didn't think I was going to like the anime as much as I did, and I actually am glad I watched it before I decided to start covering the game to an extent, only because for me personally, for me to enjoy like a game that is based on the anime, I have to like the anime first before I enjoy the game's contents, because I don't feel like there's any point in me consuming a game like an anime IP game's content if I don't even like the anime IP to begin with. So I really liked Madoka Magica, so that's why Magic Executor was an easy game for me to get into. Black Clover, I love, right? Even though Black Clover Mobile sucked, it was at least an easy game for me to get into. Dragon Ball, any Dragon Ball game, Dragon Ball Dokkan Battle, Dragon Ball Legends, it was easy for me to get into that game. Even other games like Xenoverse and so on and so forth, easy, because it's Dragon Ball is such a good IP in my opinion. So yeah, that's it. That's the video here. I just want to go over Umamusume. I'm super excited for the global release of this game. We'll have more videos coming out in the coming days. I suggest you watch the anime before you actually do play get into the game, because the anime is a sort of better understanding of the IP itself. Of course, you'll learn as you play the game, but you got to really experience the actual IP on the screen. Again, it's such a good, emotional, heartwarming fest of emotions. I don't even know how to describe it. It's just a really good watch, of course, without spoiling here. Thank you for watching, and have a nice rest of your day. Bye-bye. Or night. Yeah, it's nighttime.